We heard him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands. Link that up. Go to 2 Corinthians 5:1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Yahawah, and house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. And talking about those that died in Sri Lanka, let me get this one right. I could get this one. Psalms 82:5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Get this one. Oh! Let me skip this and let me get this. Okay. This is 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. And incredulity means unbelief, right? I always say that because I didn't know what it meant. I had to look it up, so now I say it. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And this is for those that died in Sri Lanka. It says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And that's what we do when we go on these highways and byways and throughout our whole day, our whole lives now, right? We're just sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, right? Skipping down to 14, it says, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And that's that vibration is coming now upon this planet. It's been here, but now the Most High turning it up, you know. Because we're supposed to be separate nations, you know. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And I saw with that Sri Lanka, they're having a curfew now, you know. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Now, I barely heard anything about Sri Lanka, but now, hey, that's how you know that these plagues are global. And what? They was targeting the church. That's a sign. That's a sign. Right? This is in the same chapter 26. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. Don't tell me I gotta get this one too. This one. This one is the one right here. This is Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. So what? The wrath is was appeased a little bit, you know, just a little bit, you know. That wrath, because what, they've been worshiping these idols for so long. The Most High said, man, fuck these people, and just put the things into action, you know. Was moving pieces, you know. Sending the troops and as such. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these are created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. That goes for these mass shooters. That goes for these bombers. Because hey, I was noticing too, there was a pattern where I would see somebody do something, and then the criminal or whoever did it, they would say, "Oh, God told me to do it," or whatever, and I'm like, well, actually, the Most High did tell you to do that, you know. The Most High did tell you to do that, right? Because what, you're a spirit created for vengeance, right? That was your lot, buddy. What else did I say? I said, fuck the Christian church. Fuck Sri Lanka. Oh, yes, the water Yahawashi. Because there's a lot of over there in Sri Lanka and over there, them Indians, what have you, or whatever they are over there. I mean, they're heathens. They're heathens. And they're praying to idols and making Jake go off. And Jake is just into that groups, you know. I don't want my friends to think of me a certain way. But I mean, fuck it, Jake. You wanna die, you wanna die. Right? We're out here teaching the truth, week in and week out. This is Psalms 79 and 6. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. For they have devoured Jacob and laid waste his dwelling place. Right? Oh, remember not against us former iniquities. Let thy tender mercy speedily prevent us, for we are brought very low. And do you not see the state that we are? We're under the basis of men, right? We are under the basis of men. This is Job 30 and start at the top. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision. That's talking about these Edomites, because it was since the beginning when the Adamites were on the planet, right? It was all melanated people, right? Then what happened? Cain got cursed, and then when Cain came back, he came back as Esau, right? And he still had that curse of leprosy. So they're still younger. You know what I'm saying? They're younger because what? They when Esau came and had his skin, or he was red all over as a hairy garment, where his skin was translucent, and that's when his nation started. But we had it since before. You know, we had all our people before, and then that's that separation. Esau came on, he's different. That's it says 2 nations are in thy womb, right? The one that was already there, and this new one, which are the Edomites, right? The so-called white people, the Caucasians. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Because these Edomites, these Caucasians, they will they're into that bestiality. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, and whom old age was perished. For want and famine, wait, let me see. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, and whom old age was perished. Right? Because what? We're the chosen people. They're not. For want and famine they were solitary, and flying into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. Because we had them in the Caucasus Mountains, right? That's why they get that name Caucasian from. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Because think about the things that the Edomites do today. They still was doing that in the past, right? No new thing under the sun. To dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks, Caucasians, which is cave dweller. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yet children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now am I their song, yeah, I am their byword. We're under them now, right? They look at us like fucking niggas, but they're really the basis of men, right? It says, verse 10, they abhor me, they flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face. It says, because he have loosed my cords and afflicted me, they have also let loose the bridle before me. Upon my right hand rise the youth, and they push away my feet, and they raise up against me the ways of their destruction. They mar my path, they set forth my calamity. They have no helper. Um, they came upon me as a wide breaking in of waters. In the desolation they rolled themselves upon me. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare passeth away as a cloud. And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me. Sound like Job under the curses. I mean, Job is an example of how it is to be under the curses, you know. And it's comfort. It's comfort because what we agree with this stuff. Yeah, we are in these conditions. You know, we are afflicted. Keep going. It says, verse 17, my bones are pierced in me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest. By the great force of my disease is my garment changed. It bindeth me about as the color of my coat. And our disease right now is these curses. He hath cast me into the mire, and I am become like dust and ashes. I cried, and that's talking about these ghettos, these slums. I cried unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest me not. Thou art become cruel to me. With thy strong hand, thou oppresseth thyself against me. Because there was a period of time where the Most High wasn't dealing with us. Thou liftest me up to the wind, that causes me to ride upon it, and dissolvest my substance. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death, into the house appointed for all living. Howbeit he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction. So he's not going to help us in our times of our affliction when we're living right here in this place, right? He's only have mercy on the elect. Did not I